been a while. It's been a while since I have got in front of the camera on a one-to-one basis, but Happy New Year. I hope your New Year was happy and healthy. I guess this video is somewhat of a, let's just call it a life update. I'm winging it here, but I want to talk about a few things, not saying you're interested in an update from me. This is more so for myself, but if you're curious, if you're a little nosy, if you're just interested in what I've been up to, just give me a few minutes and I think by the end of this you'll have a good idea of what I've been up to, what I got going on, I guess my future outlook, stuff like that. But yeah, I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on the year of 2024 and talk about a few different things. So I think for me, 2024 has been a year of growth. It's been a year of really highs. It's been some pretty low lows. I've spent a lot of time in front of my computer in 2024, like a lot of time. I've been really throwing myself into a couple of creative projects that we'll touch on a little bit later in this video. But I really just wanted to get in front of my, I guess, social media family, if you would call it that, and just talk a little bit about where I've been at mentally, talk a little bit about what I've been doing, what I'm trying to do. Like I said, if you give me a few minutes, by the end of this video, I think you'll find it as a few minutes well spent. So let's jump into it. So yeah, I mean, you might not have noticed that I've been away, kind of taking somewhat of a hiatus from the internet, social media in general. And I'm not saying that like anybody's watching me or anybody has tabs on me. I'm just saying, if you've noticed, if you've paid attention to it, if you've realized it, I'll talk a little bit about why. But yeah, I have. And I think that one of my cousins kind of heard me talking, and I was like, yeah, I kind of look at social media like these distant cousins, right? Like everybody has like that distant cousin, that cousin that you're like really kind of close to, but y'all don't talk that much. And that's how I looked at it, right? And I kind of looked at it as a place where you're supposed to show your wins, not the losses, right? But a real cousin of mine, a real close cousin of mine, he made a very interesting point to me. He said, why not show the losses? Why not show the wins and the losses? If this is your quote unquote social family, shouldn't they deserve to see the wins and the losses? And I think he made a very valid point. So moving forward, that's what I, plan to do. I plan to show a lot of the wins. I plan to show a lot of the losses. And that's really why I'm back to trying to be a little more active, trying to be a little more engaged, trying to be a little more involved in just creating community, creating environment where I feel, accepted. I feel like part of something bigger than myself. And that's what I'm hoping that these projects will do, is give me that sense of community. A guy that I'm cool with, we went to high school together. We've been friends for a while. He told me one time, he said his grandmother told him, wherever there's a community, there's an economy. Shout out my boy New. And I've kind of meditated on that for a few years, and it's very accurate in a lot of ways. Wherever there's a community, there is an economy. And I'm not necessarily into this for the economy, but let's be real, right? We put out work, we put out projects, we put out creative projects for the sole purpose a lot of times of creating a life that we want to live, right? And I think to do those things, you have to get honest about you need community to do those things. And that's really what this came down to for me, right? I wanted to take some time and really try to develop community. And that's what I'm going for here. So that's why I'm back. That's why I'm trying to make this concerted effort to be more open, to be more forthcoming, to be more out front, because I do want to build community. And that is something that's important to me. And building rapport with the people who care about the work that I produce, building rapport with the people who care about my creative endeavors, that's important to me. And I think it's unfair for me to kind of come and go in these spurts for the people who support me, for the people who speak highly of me, and they're like, man, the dude is good, but he's never consistent. That dude is, makes really good creative work, but just doesn't do enough of it. So for me, it's all about kind of trying to create what they call in the tech world, or just in business in general, like a brand promise, right? And I think part of that is just me being a little bit more consistent and a little bit more reliable. But I think, to be fair, some of the consistency issues just comes from my personal commitment issues. that's another conversation for another day. Won't get into that today, but I think that's where some of that comes from. So yeah, now let's talk about these creative things that I keep speaking about. I think one thing that I really want to champion is like everyone has to start somewhere, right? Everyone has to start somewhere. And there's two things that I've never done before. Again, that's writing a fiction book, and the other thing is streaming. Streaming, right? What do you mean by streaming? Well, let's go back to what I just said. Everybody has to start somewhere. Well, here goes nothing.
I don't know what's going on, but like this.
Now he got the ring light.
Let me show y'all who this is talking in the background. Here she go. She just left. Oh, everybody coming up in here. Let me show y'all my other one. Go to the gym joint. Niggas don't get the speed by. This nigga right here look like he's serious. He's serious about this shit, man. He's serious about this shit, man.
You ain't lying. You know, we put that same energy we do in the gym, in the music. We put the same energy in our writing ability.
Keep it up. This is fun. I love it.
Say this. Oh yeah, boy, y'all gonna love this shit. And I'm just, boy, I ain't even confident yet. I'm not comfortable yet. What was I doing? Beating niggas' ass in beer pong. That's what I was doing. See, I gotta start locking the fucking door, bro.
Excuse me, my lord.
God, I gotta start. That's on baby. I gotta start locking the door. Bro, you scared the fuck out of me. I'm sure I probably bitched up on her.
I'm not capping. I'm trying to tell you. As I was saying though, this is about as rare on my spaces you go see. I was going back and forth on whether or not I should grab a green screen, but I thought to myself, nah, just showing what it really is. This what I am. This what you got. You gotta get this come up. You gotta get this come up. There's a picture of my pops in here, man. This is crazy. Couldn't hedge. He used to like doing that yard work. I've been trying to adopt that, man, but I be out there running from them little bees and them, man, shoot. Anyway, you two, that sound like some Mississippi shit. I'm from Mississippi. I'm from the SIP. Just in case you didn't know, yeah, I'm throwing that up. Call me corny, call me whatever you want to call me, but I'm from the SIP. M-I, cricket letter I, cricket letter I, humpback, I. Because, you know, everybody be talking about ownership and stuff like that these days. So I just wanted to make it a point to make sure everybody knew, like, you know, I own it. It ain't much. But I got plans. Let me show y'all. These some of the colors I'm thinking about going with. Yeah, I've been spending time at Lowe's. I don't know which one I'm finna put on their ass. Yeah, y'all gonna be with me the whole journey. You finna get this glow up, as my cousin would say. It ain't no secret, I'm a big Drake fan. Like, it's no secret, I'm a huge fan. And one of the only concerts I've ever been to are mostly his concerts. And I'm a big fan of the performance. But when I went to see Beyonce at that Renaissance tour, I'm not a singer fan. I'm gonna be honest with you. My cousin could tell, he can sing. He can really sing. I'm not a singer guy. Like, oh my God, did you hear her scatting and, you know, did you hear her scatting and this and that and the third? Like, that ain't really my bag. You know what I mean? But to see her come out, no openers, no nothing, and rock it, I'm talking AT&T Stadium, Jerry's World, packed out, rocked it, start to finish, singing, performing, dancing. I'm like, man, you on another level with your craft. And I'm the competitor in me wants something similar. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I write. I write because, yeah, I want to sell a lot of books, but that's why I tell everybody, like, I'm not concerned with selling a lot of books right now. I'm concerned with getting good at the craft right now. I sell a ton of books when I'm 40. As long as I get there, you know what I'm saying? I have it down so good, by that point, I'm pumping out heat after heat after hit after hit after hit after hit while I'm still running up this. Thank you. I don't know. I think I seen Joy Taylor say somewhere that Colin Cowherd does a pre-show before he actually does a show. So I'm trying to implement that a little bit. I think one thing is just to kind of get the jitters off, get the mouth going, just get me a little more comfortable, a little ready to talk, a little ready to just settle in. So these moments mark the beginning of my journey, and they kind of have shaped me over these last 2 years. As you can see, it's a full range of the earlier stages to where I am today and where I will be moving forward. But again, I like the thought process behind everyone has to start somewhere, because many of you know me as the Dirty Napkins guy, right? I've tried a bunch of things in my life, several things. I've tried wine vlogging. I've tried just regular vlogging. I've done photography for people. I've done videography. I enjoy editing. I do a lot of post-production stuff for people. I do a lot of creative things, but I've never really been able to kind of just figure out and put my finger or my thumb on what feels the most authentic to me. So yeah, this is kind of my way of being true to myself and kind of curating a space that makes the most sense for me. But again, if you know me from Dirty Napkins, if you don't know me from Dirty Napkins, this is Dirty Napkins. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us for season 3 of Dirty Napkins. Today's guest is no stranger to good food. His journey is inspiring and his food is to die for. I'm ready to dig into her story and this food. Today's guest, Nick Wallace. Chokwe Lumumba, the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi. Dr. Lamia Jenkins Thompson, core Christian. She's the CEO of Beyond Beauty, Rita Brent. She's a musician, comedian, and a fellow veteran. So tune in. Let's go get some napkins dirty. Thanks for taking the time to sit down and talk with us. Talk a little bit about, you were telling me about the link between like food and people.
Because I try to tell everyone time flies when you're having like...
Until I had to really realize that.
So basically focus on yourself, you'll go far.
I didn't grow up with a lifelong goal that I wanted to grow up and be mayor one day.
A lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm a classically trained violinist.
As a personality, I always want to stay healthy so I can work.
Okay.
I started my business in my living room.
Follow your passion is bad advice.
But I want them to be empowered.
3,000 people, the president's gonna be here, are you willing to do it? I'm like, yes.
Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
And so I'm faced with violating the law.
I don't think you can do a job without having any passion for it.
So I think it's just, I just watch the city grow. We've just grown.
Everybody has something that they want to change.
I guarantee you one thing, if that message right there gets louder, the violence will calm down.
Mr. Mayor, that's all I have for you, so thank you.
Thank you, my man.
Thank you for the time, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Nick, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
So, obviously, if you didn't know, now you do. But one thing I want to touch on before we move forward, I'm grateful for that opportunity because it gave me an idea of what being in the spotlight is like. I kind of describe it as, you know, it gave me a taste of what being hot, that's what some people call it, what being hot is like. On a smaller scale, right? It was pretty much confined to my home city, but it gave me a very good idea of what being in the spotlight is like. And that prepared me for delivering exceptional content that meets both my standards and your expectations. So I'm forever grateful for my time doing it. But now as I kind of move forward into the next chapter of my life and just trying to really wrap my mind around the type of content that, you know, I want to do that feels authentic to me, that feels, you know, very, very like home almost, right? That brings me to the streaming and to the book, right? These are two mediums that I care a lot about, and I didn't really realize it until I got into it. I always knew that I enjoy writing books, always knew it. I just never did it, right? So I wrote my first book. I think I got it back here, actually. I do. Oh, blooper, right? Hold on. As I was saying, so I wrote my first book, very first book. The book taught me a lot. Let me make sure I'm in focus here. Okay. That book taught me a lot just about the writing process in general. But this second book, the fictional novel, The Murder Mystery, it taught me a lot about writing books. It taught me the pressure involved in it. It taught me the timeline involved in it. It taught me the overall writing process. You know, I'm not taking any shots at nonfiction. I've done nonfiction. By no means am I saying my first book is on the standard of some of the best-selling nonfiction. It's my version of nonfiction. It was my first project. But this fictional novel, Midnight Blues is the name of it. It taught me a lot about writing, about timelines, about coming out too early, about setting unrealistic expectations for yourself, and the pressures of meeting and delivering on those expectations. But neither here nor there. I'm extremely excited to announce that the book is coming out. It's Midnight Blues. I won't say just when yet. I won't say when just yet, excuse me. Primarily because I'm going to do a series of streams weekly. Say that 3 times in a row. I'm going to do a series of streams weekly. On these streams, I'm going to do a lot of different things. I'm going to dive into some of the creative elements, some of the research of it. I'm going to showcase the art for the first time. I'm going to go through the back cover for the first time. I'm going to be reading excerpts from the book because I'm also going to be doing the audio book myself, getting into character. So I'll be reading some of the lines, actually practicing for the official audio that's going to accompany the audio book. So all of that whole process is going to be on my streams weekly. And that, again, is a part of this whole update video, right? So not only am I releasing the book, I'm going to be more into this whole streaming space, specifically around my book. Now, once the book is done, who knows what happens? It might turn out that I keep going and I keep doing it, and this turns to B turns to C, and before you know it, I'm all the way at the end of the alphabet, and now I got to figure out something else to stream about. You never know. Or I might get to the end of this and say, you know what, stream is not really my thing. But I won't know until I try it on a professional level. And like I said, I've done it now for 2 years on and off, just kind of practice for myself, showing myself the ropes and really learning how to do it. So now why not, again, make that brand promise and do it on a weekly level? So yeah, that's what I plan to do to accompany the book and also promote the book, to release the book. It's my way of marketing the book. I don't have any marketing agency. I don't have a background in marketing. So this is my way of trying to market the book and also give credit to the people who've helped me prepare and present this book to the world. And while we're talking on the book, I think it does make sense for me to just take a quick break and talk about what the book is. So the book is a murder mystery. It's a fictional novel. It's titled Midnight Blues. The subtitle is A Renaissance Murder Mystery, and it's set in the 1930s, 1940s. You could think about it like the Prohibition era. It has a lot of elements of like bootlegging, and I was inspired by several different things. I don't want to talk too much about the inspiration here because these are conversations that I should probably save for stream, but I wanted to give you a high level of what it was about. It's a very FUBU type of novel, type of murder mystery, and what I mean by that is I think it's for us, by us. I'm us, obviously, and it's for us, but I want anybody to enjoy it. I want everybody to enjoy it, but specifically one of the things that really resonated with me when I was writing this book was I wanted it to have themes that were true to us. So I put a lot of that work and that effort and that research into the book. So that's what the book is, just a little piece. But like I said, if you want to learn more before it actually comes out, do yourself a favor, check me out on YouTube. I think I'm gonna do Twitch too. Probably gonna try and do some type of dual stream so I could do it at the same time. It's a little bit more technical than I know how to be right now, but don't worry, I'll figure all that out before next week. So yeah, once I get the book out and once I find some sort of rhythm with just my streaming content, I plan to evolve a little bit too. Like I spoke about with Dirty Napkins, I did enjoy interviewing people. It was something I never really thought I'd be doing on camera, but I really enjoyed it. So I plan to do more of that this year also. I can't tell you exactly what to expect. I really can't, because honestly, I'm not doing any more 6-month plans, year plans. I'm taking this thing month by month, week by week, day by day. But what I can tell you is I promise you consistency, and I can tell you I promise to make every video better than the last. That's one thing that I'm really standing on. And I think with your help, with your feedback, with your just overall guidance and kind of helping me grow this thing and helping me develop the community, I think together we can make something both creative and memorable. So I'm done here. I had a friend that told me they had never heard of the barter system, and I thought everybody heard of the barter system, right? But if you have not heard of the barter system, it's a system that back in the day people used to use to exchange goods and services without money. So let's work on the barter system. You need me to promote your stuff, I'll promote it. You want to promote my stuff, you promote it, and then we can work together and get this thing done together. So yeah, and I hope that you enjoy the content that I'm about to start producing as much as I do, because I plan to have a really good time this year. I plan to work hard, I plan to hustle hard, and I plan to really put my faith forward and put my trust in God. And I hope to deliver some content that you find entertaining. I really don't like the word content that much. I don't know, just projects, man. I plan to put out a bunch of creative projects. But anyway, I look forward to exploring this year with you. I look forward to having a good time. And if I see you out, feel free to come up and holler at me. So anyway, I don't know, man. I got nothing else to say. Hopefully this video was short enough for you. If you made it all the way to the end, you're the real MVP. Make sure you subscribe. Check me out on YouTube. I'm not fancy enough to put anything down at the bottom yet, but check me out on YouTube. I'm on everything at this point, literally everything. And I'm everywhere at JT Expressive. I'll get to expressing. Don't worry. Just lock in with me. So anyway, thanks for your time. Can't tell you how much I appreciate that in this world that we live in, where things and people expect it really quick, and everybody tells you that everyone's attention span is short, which I don't particularly believe. I do think you have to get to the point, but I do think people have the propensity to stick around for things they care about. So if you do, follow me, tap in with me, subscribe to me, link me, whatever, connect with me. Let's just make some good content. Let's have a good time. And if you need to find me, you know where I am. Peace.